Welcome back to Limbus Company, Daily Mirror Dungeon. We're going to be doing a bit of an upstream battle today. Basically, every single event on the, or every single fight on the event floor has various things on it to make it so that bleed's not very effective on them. To that I say, who cares? We are going to use bleed anyways. We're going to kill them. We're going to fight fire with fire, fight blood with blood, right? We're going to see how this goes. It's a little bit, questionable, that's for sure. I forget exactly what it is, but it's like, what, plus 10 offense level if they've got enough bleed? Something like that to the enemies. I don't remember the specifics. I haven't used bleed at all for the event because there's no real reason to, but you know, let's give it a shot. Got a fairly standard bleed team here, got some IDs, you know, to make sure we're still getting the full multiplier. But we've got, you know, you, we got 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 you. Standard bleed stuff, starting off with Wound Cleared and Plushie. Obviously, we'll get Wound Cleared to ++, and then we're basically going to be set on bleed. And chances are, we should probably be able to just bleed the enemies to death before they can really do that much to us, surely. Guess we'll see, right? Who knows? I don't think any of the EU gifts really standard as bleed. There is one Blood Fiend themed EU gift, like the little, like, crystal thing, but I don't think that helps bleed at all. I don't remember what it does. Yeah, there's nothing from the actual event that helps bleed. Everything the event tries to do is trying to convince you to not run bleed. Since, you know, it's a little bit, you know, weird to use bleed on a blood fiend. But that's fine. Nice. Get some more kill stuff. And gold. Random video gift, gamble. Aw, nice. Good to have. Not like particularly great. It's kind of like a worse version of the plushie. It's like the plushie but it only applies to the first two IDs. It's slightly different, but its main thing is just it being a damage multiplier. A lot of the bleed EU gifts are just damage multipliers when you think about it. A little odd, but that's fine. Ooh, nice. Whistles early on is always super good. Get our sanity up pretty quickly. That sort of stuff. And we should be looking pretty good. I was lost in thought for a second there, so I feel like I wasn't speaking too much, but it happens sometimes, right? We'll see how this team goes. Very possible Don Canto does end up being semi-bleedy, but, like, I feel like it's very unneeded. Bleed's in a weird spot, because it's caught in a lot of support with stuff like N-Corp and Quad and stuff, but, like, there's not too many, like, pure bleed IDs that are super good, right? Because other than, like, the ring IDs and, like, I guess you as well, most bleed IDs are either poise or nails, just because of how it, you know, has lined up. Not true for all of them, but I don't think bleed really needs a bunch more IDs right now. Earl King's probably going to have some bleed on him, don't get me wrong. Maybe not a lot, but a little bit. Probably like a Captain Ishmael level of bleed, right? He's got some bleed, can trigger some things, but, like, Earl King's probably going to be mainly sinking. We'll see. I mainly say that because of the envy barrier, making it so that the Earl King fights have a fair bit of bleed in them. I don't think his skills have much, if any, bleed in them. There might be a little bit here and there, but I don't remember for sure. We could upgrade Awe. I don't think it's really necessary. We'll just save our cost. Do some rolling and that sort of stuff. If we can get the muzzle next shop, that would be good. Because if we get a bleed fusion gift early, that could be funny. We really don't need the bleed fusion gift, that's for sure. But we've got Wound Cleared ++ now, so our bleed's gonna be doing fairly well, I gotta say. Just a bunch more bleed count infliction, and once we clear this floor, we'll get White Gossipium. We'll upgrade White Gossipium to ++ on floor 3. White Gossipium on its own, like, is a bunch of offense level down, so it might be enough to, like, counteract a bunch of the random buffs the enemies get for having bleed on the warp floor. I'll look at the specifics of what it is. I'm pretty sure it's offense level up, but it might vary from enemy. I just thought it'd be funny to try bleed anyways, because it didn't seem like a big enough of a downside to be too big of a shoot. They might also take less damage, like 25% less damage or something from bleed. I'll see. I don't remember. And we're killing all these guys. Excellent gaming. Cool. And that's a victory. We get White Gossipium, enemies gain more HP, that's fine. Gamble again, see if we get lucky again. Rusted Muzzle just then and there, alright. Already looking really good. We could just go for Smoke and Wires immediately. Ooh, we could go for Nagel and Hammer Scriptures, actually. That's a funny idea. I'm gonna go for it, why not, right? It's not super necessary, but like... And like, it's not that strong, but like, more nails is cool. And we can just roll for the U-Gift here, probably. Odds of us getting what we're looking for are fairly decent. If nothing else, we can get some of the other random bleed things here. Yisong skill change, probably worth it. Do we do another skill 3 or another skill 2? Let's just do another skill 3. His skill 2 is funny as well, but I think that'll work good enough. And no dice. That's fine. We've got enough ego gifts, and we're going to get some random stuff on this floor. We should be able to just fuse... Yeah, we should be able to fuse Smoke and Wire on the next floor. It will be a 50-50 whether or not we get it or the other Bleed Tier 3, which I can't remember at the moment. Oh, it's the, what's it called? Respite? Yeah, Respite. 50-50 whether or not we get Respite or, Smoke and Wires from that, but if we choose a floor that has Respite on it, we can guarantee the Bleed Tier 3 we're looking for, with the only a 10% chance of failure, so, you know, that sounds good enough for me. We'll see, right? See how it goes. Who knows? Nobody knows. I don't think that's how it goes. See how it goes, something something, nobody knows. Where will it land? I don't even know what I'm quoting. I don't even know it's something in particular, just like a generic-y type of phrase. Sounds about right. Yeah, keep on attacking. Yeah. Cool. Killing all these guys. These guys are gonna, you know, try to outbleed us, but they cannot outbleed us. What's the boss on this floor? I didn't check. I probably hovered over it and just didn't look at what the actual boss was. We can handle most of them pretty easily, that's for sure, but curious, right? See what it ends up being. Oh, Burning Intellect, sure. Random Ego Gift, sure. Tier 2 is good, so we can use that for fusion. Okay, that's dogs. That'll be simple enough. Oh, we can get you. Phantom Pain. It's a tier 3, so also nice for fusions. Also nice to keep, though, if we don't need to fuse it away. We could try fusing Red Gossipium, though, if we wanted to, if we can get enough random tier 3s we're willing to get rid of. Which I might be willing to get rid of some of the other bleed tier 3s for Red Gossipium, right? Potentially a decent idea, but it's also not the biggest deal whatsoever. Maybe I'll be able to get it from floor 3 anyways. Right. As nice as it is to be able to start fights with bleed count, it shouldn't matter too much. How was this team for evades, by the way? I didn't check, but that could actually be really nice, because I've mainly been running, you know, a thoroughly NV charged type team in the dungeons so far. I really haven't been able to do Cassetti with a very evade-heavy team. But this team should have a fair bit of evades on it, doesn't it? I know Ishmael isn't. I think Ryoshu isn't. Who is it? You've got to dodge, you've got to block. Yeah, you've got to dodge, you've got to block. You've got to block, you've got to block. Okay. So it's only you two that have dodges. Neither of the ring IDs do. I don't know why I thought they did. Probably getting it mixed up in my head. Yeah, that's fine. Not a lot. Still could be worth trying if we do manage to need it. It'll all be down to whether how much damage we can do to Cassetti, like, first turn of the wave. We definitely could do decently, potentially.
전원 집합. 이번 작품에 대해 논의할 시간이다.
대부분 분야에서 저는 최고의 성능을 내는 AI지만
Do a little bit of that. Cool.
더 준비 시간이 필요합니다.
Alright, we lost the clash with Otis. I mean, that's fine. A little bit unfortunate to see, but it's really not a big deal. But god, look at that. 9 bleed count from that one skill alone, thanks to the wound cleared. And it's just because of the fact of the strong skill 3, right? Ring Sang is very funny. Ring Sang alone really makes it feel like we don't need any bleed stuff for a while. It's really not like... It's not like bleed has a lot of, like, super unique stuff going for it, really. Once again, trying to treat Tremor as, like, the bar is definitely a bad idea, because Tremor is currently, like, the most... I'm gonna say it's the most complex status effect as far as, like, what tools it has, right? There's a lot of ways you can go about doing it. Kind of one that's super optimal, but, like, Amplitude Conversions really added a lot of interesting variety to it that you can make use of if you want to be less efficient, I guess. The other status effects might be getting there eventually. I don't know. So far they're not, but other status effects are getting some good stuff so far. Let's see. What's the play here? Well, these guys are high speed, so we kind of need to clash them with people who, well, can clash them. So that's first up. And you can clash that guy, and otherwise we can just do that, yeah. Yisong should be in a good enough spot to take down those evades. I guess, actually Hong Lu is going to take down one probably, and Yisong's going to take the other, by the looks of it. Which should work. In the meantime, these two are attacking the other ones, because they don't have, you know, super coin heavy... Oh. I enabled assist attack, 60% assist attack chance. Because of that, the top right one is now enraging next turn. That's fine. Bottom one isn't enraging, so... We'll still be able to clash everything. It's probably optimal to enrage all of them first turn anyways, because then they get the fragile and stuff. I usually play it a little safe, which... really not very necessary, that's for sure. Hasn't been necessary for a long time, either. Is it ever necessary? Maybe. You know, when the game first launched, these guys probably seemed scarier than they do now. I really don't remember the dogs being too big of a problem early on. I remember, you know, the preceding Inquisitors being a nuisance because of Sacristy. That was iconic. That's for sure. Tear apart. Please don't. Sounds a little rude. Okay, you guys can clash those two, and then you guys can clash this. That's decent. Sure, send it. Should be pretty good. Top guy's gonna die to bleed, like, no matter what. That's that's 4 coin skills it's going for here. Yeah. Very much death for it. We didn't need to go all out on it. We really just needed to clash it once. I kinda, like, blanked on that in my mind for a minute there. That's fine. You're dead too, so it's just the bottom guy who does have Frenzy, but has enough bleed that... Do you bleed to death? You don't quite bleed to death, but we'll kill you anyways, right? The bleed will do enough damage that you're going to get staggered by this attack, and you're probably just going to get killed by it because it's going to gain another coin. Didn't even need the additional coin, actually, so... Easy on the floor, too. Cool. We get the Nagel and Hammer Scriptures for, you know, a little bit of variety, get some Nails Infliction going, because why not be a little zany? Bone Stake, why not be a little zany? None of these really appeals. Can we get, like, Respite to show up or something? Do not want you. Do we go for Standard Duty Battery for the bit? And we'll go... This floor's nice for us. Those guys both seem very bleedable, so yeah, we'll go with it. Sounds funny. And we'll just hope we get lucky from some of our fusion stuff. So we need a bleed tier 3. So best plan of action, these two and something else. We could do this. Or we could do like this, right? We don't really need this one, so we can do this, don't spend the tier 3 quite yet. Yeah, we got respite there. So we could try something like this, then maybe. And this should give us smoke and wires. It's on this floor, isn't it? Yeah. Either we got the unlucky 10% chance, or we've just kind of gotten unlucky and we're doomed. Which, if so, that's fine. I say doomed, but, like, it's not that big of a deal. Get a knife to ++2, since we can. But yeah, no, oh, we still have some cost left. Smoke and wires is on this floor, I'm pretty sure. Either we got the 10% failure chance, or it's one of those two, or one of these 3 events. Well, we've got Clockwork Spring now instead of Respite, so... Maybe I gambled too hard. No such thing as gambling too hard. Gambling is always worth it. Sun Tzu. Because he knows a little bit more about gambling than you do. Because he invented it. Okay, now we got nails. So that's pretty cool. Would probably be better if we were running an actual N-Corp team, because then we could actually make use of it, but like, it's more bleed count. Do we need more bleed count? No. Should I have just gone for smoke and wires? Yeah. Do I regret my choice? Not particularly, I found it funny. I don't know. Well, we're staggering a bunch of these guys. Since we got White Gossipium ++ now, we at least got that from the rest stop. It means these staggered enemies are just gonna be bleeding to death, and that's all they're ever gonna do again. I really don't know if I should be using Kurokuma Ryoshu. I really only use her because she used to be nice back before Wound Cleared ++ existed, right? Now that it's so pathetically easy to maintain bleed, you really just want bleed units that have a lot of coins more so than anything else for mirror dungeons. Because like the nice thing about Kurokuma Ryoshu is like 3 bleed count from skill 2, 3 bleed count from skill 3 means that she's pretty nice for maintaining bleed, right? Not insane. For, you know, a launch ID, though, fairly insane. Standards have changed a lot since then, though. I don't know, I still use her just kind of out of the nostalgia factor, I guess. Could always bring, like, Rhodey on for Sanguine Desire, but Sanguine Desire also really not needed in mirror dungeons, because, our bleed count infliction is good enough that it shouldn't make too big of a difference. And its damage isn't, like, usually that insane to really be necessary if you have the bleed already stacked up, right? Of course, I can't forget we also have nails functioning, so we're just getting more bleed on every enemy, more bleed count on every enemy. Unlike something like, you know, like, Burn, Rupture, Tremor, the tier 4 doesn't, like, give us stupid buffs give us stupid damage increases for the enemies having a lot of bleed count, so, like, it really doesn't matter, but it's funny to stack it. Bleed can go down pretty fast on certain enemies, but not faster than we can just kill them. That's for sure. By the time they're out of bleed, they're already dead from the damage. We just hit them with a few random attacks, and they're already at like 60 bleed, 10 count. Okay, it's not this one. Smoke and wires. I mean, it could be the bottom one, right? And I could have just gotten the 10% failure chance, right? It does happen from time to time. Yeah. Pretty cool. Especially when, you know, his skill 3 randomly chooses... When it hits a 20% bleed count infliction, it's even more. Which is funny. When it chooses one of the other status effects, it's not as funny. I mean, it's nice when it's like Tremor or Burn especially, since they're going to last forever. Rupture and Singing are pretty temporary. But like Tremor and Burn are fairly nice for him maintaining debuffs on enemies. Not a really big issue for us, especially since we stagger an enemy and then they're basically like permanently at 3 debuffs. With all the offense and defense level down on top of the bleed. And I guess also the nails are helping us a fair bit on that front. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, it sure is a debuff, so it just makes it even easier to get our skill 2, skill 3 conditionals off.
적에게 치명상을 입혔군요.
Cool.
관리자님은 당신이 생각하는 것보다 대단한 능력을
Very
가지고
intentional,
제가 늘
that's for sure.
일리
Because I'm just that smart.
말만 한답니다.
You can trust me. Barely.
공격
They're definitely all dead this turn.
양호.
어우, 제대로 꽂혔는데.
And Otis finishes the job on the last guy. Cool.
작품 완성.
효율적인
Good stuff.
대처로 개체를 꿰뚫었습니다. 참고로 기계는 입에 발린 말 따위
A machine does not make it light use of flattery. Thank you, Angela. You say that like every time you get a kill, so if that's, you know, your idea of not light usage, I don't know what your idea of light usage is, that's for sure.
예리한 검으로 하는
Yeah.
예술이 보고
Not a
싶다.
very funny joke, is it? That's just how it is sometimes.
부상 없이
Um,
최고야. 알지?
정화. 당신들은
More pirates. Simple enough. This time it's... Was the last one a risky encounter or an elite encounter? Or am I thinking? It might have been. I don't know. It's more pirates. They are technically bleed enemies, but like they don't have any bleed resistance or anything. Nothing in Mirror Dungeon has bleed resistance other than the blood bag guys and all the event stuff.
조금씩 나아가고 있네요. 계속 힘내주세요.
점 찍었네. 이제야 완성된 적확한 한압이었어.
Cool.
저놈을 썩해.
이제야
Explode, spell them, debuff, spell them, all that fun stuff. Execution this guy. We'll get the kill with execution so we get all the sanity benefits and stuff. Does that go before or after the Ishmael SP loss? Probably before if I had to guess, so Ishmael will still be negative on SP. Or net negative. Okay. So, fourth front of the Smoke War was probably the bottom one then. Smoke and Wires is probably at this node right here. Or I got the 10% failure chance, once again. Could have happened. Anyways, Kim time. One of the previous season's event enemies. And we'll follow it with one of the current season's event enemies. Isn't that a funny combo?
당신들은 상관없으세요?
Let's see. Might be able to get the bleed count stacked immediately if we're lucky. We'll see. Try something like that. Cool. Get the one side of... If the second coin on this means, yeah, you get a bunch of bleed count infliction because he had some bleed stuff there. And we should just be able to get net positive on bleed from now on forwards. So yeah, Kim is already sentenced to eternal torment. Bit of a hell screen, if you will, right? Like a painting of hell, like Dante says in the event. Do we have something that's increasing? Do we have something that's reducing your SP? We do, don't we? What is it? His SP is definitely going down from us just hitting him or something? Do we the lowest star or something? Actually, I don't know what the SP is from. Is it just random SP lost that the ring IDs are inflicting or something? Probably. I don't know. I also might have just been going insane. It can happen. Well, Harping of Obsession immediately is pretty nice. Because that means, 4-coin skill. Or I guess we're only clashing with 2-coin skill. But I think we stagger you with this. Right? Oh, right. We staggered you last turn. So your staggered push was already gone. Oh, that's convenient. Because that means Rampage also does a bunch of damage thanks to the bleed, and also just does a bunch of damage normally. And Gripping kills you. 8 HP left. There we go. Yeah. So that's an enemy that's like fairly weak to bleed, because he uses a lot of pretty high coin count skills, and doesn't have like an innate bleed resistance. So now we got to compare that to Cassetti, right? A little bit of a compare and contrast for you guys. No dice, that's fine. We got lucky earlier, so that's fine. We could fight Kim again if we wanted to. And just forsaken the entire bit of the run. It's always tempting. Oh, they're smoking wires. Okay, well, we get it now. So that's good. Another one of those is good. Stuff doesn't really appeal to us too much. None of the event stuff is good for us, like, at all. I don't think. Let's grab a fiery down. That sounds enjoyable. You know, oh, we get a free one, actually. Let's try it. Riveting. But yeah, so now we can see exactly what the Blood Fiends have that's, you know, gonna cause us problems. Huh. What's that? Why is this one not Blunt Weak? I don't know if I've seen that before, huh? Because, like, everything is Blunt and Envy. I know, like, Blunt, Envy, Gloom is, like, the boss one. Like, what is this one that makes it different from every other one? I've never seen the Envy Gloom node before. What's going on here? Because I know, I'm pretty sure Cassetti's weak to Gloom. But you guys are just weak to Gloom just in general? Is that it? Is it a node that's only the prosthetic fixers? If so, it's interesting. But yeah, we can take a look at the passive. Yeah, gain 1 bleed count every time the unit is hit. Consume bleed count itself to gain quantitative blood. So they lose 3 bleed count every turn no matter what. But just hitting them just does that, more of that. And they had 30% less damage from bleed. So yeah, they just take 30% less bleed damage. I think Cassetti is the one who gains like the offense level up stuff from bleed. Actually, some rough clashes going on here. These guys are blunt weak though, so I don't know why it's not displayed as just being blunt weak as well. I don't know, that's weird. Sometimes like the node weaknesses stuff is just kind of strangely inconsistent, so once again, not really something to be that shocked by. Our bleed damage not being as much as unfortunate, but we've still got a lot of bleed going on here. Ish actually loses her clash. That's a little unfortunate, but she's fine. Like, how is this different from any other fight on this floor? Admittedly, I don't think I've seen the one where it just starts with 5 multi-crack enemies. Like, that's new to me, I think. As far as I know. Also, the enemies being weak to Pierce is unfortunate when a fair bit of our team is Pierce. But that's alright. And by a fair bit, I mean, like, basically everything. It's interesting how Pierce heavy bleed is right now. Like, we've got some non-Pierce attacks, like, you know, your skill 3 is blunt. There might be some random stuff on one of you guys. Nothing is coming to mind. Do you have something that's not... Okay, you don't. So, you know, your skill 3 is the only non-Pierce attack we have on the entire team. Actually, these guys are slash resistant. And the warp guys are Pierce resistant, while the, these guys are slash resistant. But yeah, once again, more blunt weak enemies. So yeah, I don't know. Probably not a big thing to worry about. We could go for Whisperers if we wanted to, but we don't really need it, so we'll just do this, right? Did I set up whistles so that Faust is being hit by it? I think inconsistently, right? Assuming Ishmael is max sanity, then it should be going to Faust. Yeah, she's got Fnatic there. I'm pretty sure she can only get... No, the EU gift just gives her Fnatic every turn. I keep on forgetting about that. I keep on thinking that's the fusion, but no, the N-Corp Scriptures on its own just gives 1 Fnatic to N-Corp IDs every turn. That's nice. Stabber this guy. Put a little bit of blood on their face. Big disgrace. Da 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 da. Okay. Yeah, our damage is a little bit slow on these guys. Because, you know, they also resist Lust. Because, you know, Lust is closely associated with Bleed. That's logically why they resist it. Still a bit rude, but... We've got a little bit of, like, envy attacks and stuff here and there, though. So, like, it's not like everything we do is being resisted. A lot of our strong attacks are Lust, though. Anyways, Faust should be able to get the stagger here. Or she just kills with bleed because she kept on tying some of those clashes. That also works. I'm not one to complain.
적확한 한압이었어. 다소 유리하구려.
Okay. We're still looking fine, though. There's no more reinforcements, just these two, so they'll die no matter what. They're taking less bleed damage, but they're still taking 70% bleed damage. Like, they're really not doing that great, all things considered, I'd say. Especially when we just kill them. Cool. Yeah. Also, if we want to be funny, we should add Chef Gregor as, like, the 7th person for the chain battle thing. You, okay. We'll take more poise, I guess. I assume we can get 4 heads. Which we can, cool. I mean, if we fail this check, it's just free SP and healing, so it's not a big deal to fail it, but... Yeah, we'll add you, because you're bleed. You're going to be in the 7th slot. In case someone dies, we'll pull out the goat Chef Gregor. You know, one of the best IDs in the game.
가서 할 수 있는 건 다 해보고 오라고. 저보다 한 주먹거리도 안 되는 놈들이니까.
I mean, we're just going to attack these guys a bunch. Simple as that. Should actually probably clash you better. Yeah. So I need to triple down this one. Which one of these needs the most assistance? Probably execution, even though it's hitting the weakness. Yeah, sure. This'll work. We're clashing everything decently enough. Yeah. I mean, if they just get all heads, though, then there's not much I can do, right? It happens. Chances of it happening aren't super high, but I guess it's a good thing we doubled up on that one. Even though I doubt our little attacks are gonna... That little attack is gonna do much to that guy. It'll still be something. Cool. Stacking the bleed. This is a stagger. The warp guys are fairly easy to stagger because they keep on like doing enough damage to bring themselves below their stagger threshold anyway. So then you just give them a little tap on the forehead and then they just combust. That might not actually do enough damage, huh? Rampage bottom right then, just to make sure it does. Sanguine painting. Clean up, harpoon of obsession, sanguine pointillism, sure. Looks good. Kill as many of these guys as we can. There's still more reinforcements, so just do as much as we can, right? Sanguine painting, you know, gets the additional coins and just does a lot of damage thanks to that. This guy almost died to the bleed. Would have died to the bleed if not for, you know, the resistance these guys innately have to the bleed. Always funny to think about. So I always find to think about as if I haven't just been thinking about it for like, what, 5 minutes? That's all I've been thinking about it for. We'll kill this guy as well. Did we kill all of them, or is there one that we didn't kill? I don't know. Either way, there's more reinforcements coming. Yeah, 4 more. I think I don't count. It's kind of hard to tell when there's been reinforcements or not, especially when you're absent-minded as me. But like, far as I can tell, usually there's reinforcements equal to the amount of enemies that were on the field originally, right? So if there were, you know, 6 enemies originally, then there's 6 reinforcements. If there were 4 originally, there were 4 reinforcements. Although it might just be 12 every time, for all I know. I guess I'll test my theory here. We've already killed 4, and there's 4 showing up now. So just pay attention for once, and I might figure out. Sanguine pointillism, 3 coin funny. Cool. Get all their defense loadouts. We didn't kill anyone that turn, so these guys are all, you know, still fine. Do that. Cool. We'll probably get, like, at least 1 kill here. Yeah, top left guy died. So there should be 3 left if my original theory is correct. Bottom left died. Top right, stagger. I think top right we were doubling up with Ryoshu, who should be able to kill that, I'd assume. Maybe. Okay, are they all dead, or is there 4 more reinforcements?
하나 눕혔네.
No, there's 10 enemies in this fight. In the Folks Encounter version of 10 fights. Is it 10 in every fight, then? Is it, like, 5 and 5 reinforcements, usually? I don't know. Either way, with 2 enemies left, we can just kind of go all out like this and do some pretty good damage, I'm sure. Stack a bunch of bleed before we clash them. Might accidentally stagger them beforehand if we're not careful about it, but that's fine. This guy's definitely getting staggered by this and is being hit by Yisong's skill 3. So top guy's definitely dead. Bottom guy has a lot of bleed before being clashed again, so that's good. Faust can probably kill bottom guy. Because, yeah, bleed damage, resisted bleed damage if you stagger with this, and the other 2 coins deal fatal damage. Partially fatal, because, you know... Are they 0.5 to Lust? I didn't check their Lust resistance. Assumably they're 0.5 to Lust. That's usually a normal resistance value. I'll just take a random ego gift. Grander. Cool. More sinking ego gift to go alongside our Grandeur. One that we, you know... I guess we can theoretically trigger Skeletal Crumbs if we inflict sinking from one of the ring ID's shenanigans, but not gonna happen too much. Grandeur I think we physically can't trigger because we've got no way to build up that much sinking. Who knows, maybe if we get super lucky and get a bunch of, you know, sinking inflicting random rolls on the ring IDs, then we could get to that point. Somehow I doubt it. I was gonna say something along the lines of funny how we haven't gotten a sinking ID since Butler Ishmael, but then I remembered Daichi Murso is a sinking ID. He's not great for sinking, because, you know, his skill 3 is his sinking is random, but, like, he is a sinking ID. So kinda can't count it out. I don't know. Compared to how much Poise stuff we got Season 3, we've gotten some sinking stuff this season, but mainly just the actual Kanto stuff was sinking. Haven't really gotten sinking since then. Unless you could also count the ring IDs if you want to. I definitely wouldn't count them as anything other than bleed. The game doesn't count them as anything other than bleed, right? As far as fusion gifts go. Which, you know, makes sense. I enjoyed the 1 week where I could get stupid fusion gift combos going, you know. The sinking rupture fusion gift combo is just beautiful. I'll miss it every day. One day we'll get it back. Yeah, so we've killed 5 enemies, so there are 5 more have spawned in. So if there's no more reinforcements, then the whole 10 enemy thing checks out. It is funny how, like, the issue is, like, I just play Limbus enough that, like, I very frequently just go fully into autopilot when playing it. And I fail to, like, comprehend what's going on beyond, like, just pure instinct, right? This happens a lot. Sometimes I make huge mistakes because of it. Forget crucial things because I'm like, yeah, I already know what's going on. Especially when there's new content, right? Because there's a part of my brain that's like, it's just Limbus Company. You play this game enough, like, it may be new content, but, like, it's basically the same thing. And it's the part of my brain, it's kind of like a devil on my shoulder, you know, trying to give me into evil when I should not be doing that. I don't know. It is cool that this event has 3 types of enemies. More than your average event. I guess there were technically 3 types of enemies in Time Killing Time too. If you count both, like, types of T-Corp collectors at different types. Which they are. Similar gimmicks, but you could say similar gimmicks to all the enemies in this Kanto too, so. In this mid-chapter too, so. But so. I think there was no more reinforcements. Once again, probably should have been paying attention. Oh well. Faust can get another execution, sure. Other than that, we're gonna get the fusion gift here. Because we managed to get smoke and wires earlier, so double damage is, I mean, it's just kind of good to have. So yeah, Bloody Mist, cool. Applies to every single one of our skills. And actually, no. Ryoshu's skill 1 doesn't have any bleed on it, so it doesn't trigger Bloody Mist. But otherwise, I think every single skill we have has bleed on it. Most likely. Let's upgrade Endorphin Kit for the bit. Good for Faust. And let's see how the bleed stuff is going to go on here. Does Sasha have a different bleed passive? She might. Guess we'll see.
걱정 마시오.
But, like, these guys are assumably similar enough.
생명은
Oh, these guys take
어떤
10% less damage from bleed. Okay. It's probably because they're, like, the homeless ones, right? 30% less damage from bleed is probably, like, the stronger blood bags. I probably could have checked that earlier to find out that information. You should actually probably be on counter-killing duty, since you've got a strong attack this turn that can do a lot of damage to these guys. Cool. Do something like that. These guys all starting with low HP means that they're pretty easy to kill. Execution kill for, you know, the blunt and pierce damage up. Which, because we don't have a single slash kill in this entire team, I mean, that's nice. Might have made the difference for that cleanup killing. I don't know for sure. I couldn't really see the HP value on that guy. I think she still would have killed even without, you know, the 10% damage increase, but it could have been close, right? Yeah, I think we're already killing all of them. Is Sasha the 10th position for this fight? Because if so, then that also does further my theory that it's 10 enemies for each of these, you know, chain battles.
특별히 첨언할 이유도 없고.
Because there's 5 enemies to start out with. This is the 5th one that we're going to be killing. Cool. And is Sasha going to be there? Yeah, okay. Kind of unfortunate when you do this, though. Oh, I've actually never noticed that. That's funny. Huh. Yeah. So, normally the multi-crack IDs count as multi-crack office, mechanical amalgam, and fixer, but these ones don't count as fixer. Assumably, you know, referring to, you know, assumably a joke partially based on, like, some of Sasha's lines regarding, you know, like the, oh, being a fixer is awful, whatever. They've, like, forsaken it. They're still part of the office, but, like, they're not being counted as fixers. That's funny. I hadn't looked at that part before. I forgot to check the passive. I considered checking, but I forgot to check what her bleed resistant passive is. Because she might also have the offense level up one, right? Guess we'll see how much damage she takes when we clash against her with Yisong. Because she has... looks like 70% bleed damage, 30% reduction from that damage. So it's probably the same as the generic, or like the generic multi-crack enemies. Execution kill, give that buff to the Otis skill. Cool. Otis skill didn't even kill, that's fine. But yeah, now we can check your pass because we didn't kill you there. Yeah, you just have this one, okay. Nothing special then. Pursue them to the end, going first. Clean up, and then we're just gonna clash everyone else. Do enough damage to kill most of them, I'm sure.
점 찍었네.
We should be able to fight Cassetti next turn, and we should be able to stack up enough damage on him to just not have to worry about his bleed phase, or his healing phase, but if we don't, that's probably fine too. I guess the only issue is he doesn't have a lot of coins, right? Most of his attacks are what, 1 coin, 2 coins? First phase, first turn especially, first few turns, before he triggers the passive, it feels like he always has, like, weak stuff. Yeah, same bunch of single coin stuff. But yeah, when he has bleed, you gain 1 offense and defense level for every 5 bleed, max 10. You gain 1 clash power for every 10 bleed, max 5. Take 50% less damage for bleed. So yeah, this is going to be the real fun part for bleed. We can get gripping going. We're going to do a lot of damage no matter what, right? We actually should do it like that. Yeah, so you're just going to get some one-sided bleed infliction going on first and foremost. Whistles for the Fnatic. For it doesn't even... it's not even hitting Faust. Like, it's not doing anything. So yeah, this means he has 5 clash power up and 10 offense level up from the bleed already. It seems like it applies at turn start, because I feel like he's not getting the buffs quite yet. Still scary. I think we do get him low enough that he is gonna heal himself up a bunch. Yes, okay. Well, we... Just gotta live with that, I think. We'll just have defensive skill with everyone. Might as well. We'll dodge some of it, and the others will just block the damage, right? He'll probably still heal up to max from hitting 4 people. If you team with all of 8s, you could pretty easily get away. Like, he only did 16 damage here. But now is the real fun part, because, yeah. 20 up? He's only got 1 body. Did I misread this? Max 10. Oh, right, you're also gaining it from... Yeah, that's right, okay. Because you're gaining 10 from stored blood and 10 from having a lot of bleed. And you've got 9... Okay. So, like, if we look at this, for example, yeah. This is actually really good for us, though, because we can bleed him to death like this, can't we? Yeah, actually. We're gonna lose clashes, but that's gonna make him take more bleed damage, right? Can we not clash everyone if we do it like that? Okay. Need to be a little smarter about this, I guess. Cool. So we're gonna lose a lot of clashes, but he's gonna be taking so much bleed damage that it doesn't matter. It's only 50 bleed per, like, clash, but, like, he's still... Oh, he's healing, that's right. I forgot about that part. Huh. I think he's losing more HP than he's gaining, though? Maybe? Oh, we won a clash with Ishmael, though. That's pretty cool. Shh. That's fine. It's an interesting strategy. There's also paralysis, which was not enough of a difference, unfortunately. Could have been, though. You never know. We're getting some decent bleed damage, though, so that's good. Oh, wait, that was an assist attack. I didn't even... No, was it? No. No, okay. I don't think so. I'm getting mixed up. Now you're mass attacking, though, which is a really big issue. But here's the thing about the mass attack. It'd be... No, we can't... We can't be funny for the mass attack. As funny as it would be to be funny for the mass attack. Oh, what's the mass attack rolling? A 30. Yeah, we can beat that, but we really need to get heads, right? Otherwise, it's not going to be looking so great. Does Everlasting lose these? It might. But that actually could be real funny if it does lose these, though. Because think about it, like, if it loses these, it's so much bleed. Focus Strike, I kind of want to one-side that. Okay, we try that. If I was being smarter, I'd probably do more actual, like, egoing than this. Okay, we actually won this. Still was a lot of bleed damage, though. And we won the clash, so... Do we stagger him with this? We might, actually. He's getting low, isn't he? And this will do decent damage. He is Blunt Weak after all, and he's Sloth neutral, so... And there is some tremor infliction going on here, so we might... Yeah, I think the stagger thing showed up there. I think he got staggered. 200 damage spell, so yeah, pretty nice. Yeah, staggered, cool. The stagger only lasts for 1 turn, but I think that's more than enough time. Yeah. Yusong just annihilated Cassetti. That's pretty cool. You did the most damage. Yeah, I'm not surprised. You were first slotted, so you got second skills level at a time, but like that's still twice as much damage as the person in second. He does a lot of damage. Like, that's not really a shocker. I'm sure if you've used or seen Ring Sang at all, you should know that by now. But yeah, so, even if you're running a bleed team, he's still pushover. He was taking more damage than he was dealing with all those clashings and stuff. Get 9 boxes, excellent. Building our number. I was gonna say slowly, but pretty quickly building our number back up from what we spent on the event. So that's nice. Nice and ready for Earl King. Oh, a 2-star. Who's it gonna be for? Merso! Dead Rabbit Merso. Interesting. He's an ID. Oh, another 2-star. This time on the Hong Lu banner, so it's likely to be Hong Lu, but not guaranteed, as we can tell by, you know, there's my least favorite ID in the game. Wowie zowie. And another 2-star for good luck? No. That's still fine. It's still a 33 shard kind of day. Which is More than average by a pretty notable amount, that's for sure. But yeah, sometimes you just gotta throw what you have at the boss. Even if it's the worst possible stuff to be using, they're still really strong IDs, even if their bleed is working against them. He can have, plus 20 offense power, 9 clash power up, and he's still, kind of a pushover. We could have just spammed egos in one, but that's true for, like, any fight. Now, try that in Mirror Dungeon 4 hard. Might be a different story entirely. I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, I would recommend it because it sounds funny. Probably a bad idea, though. But anyways, that'll be all for this time. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!